Alright, carrying on here with my Midway Solitaire using all the optional rules. And we got a activated route here along the Port Mosby route. They're heading for Australia. Getting really close down here on these two short routes. And that's one thing about this game, you'll find out that, yeah, these are the extended ones. These ones you gotta kind of cover right away because there's not much to them. If they go to them, they go after them on consecutive turns. Ooh. And in this optional rules variant, you're able to you have more freedom to deploy your task forces and create task forces. And on this one, as a matter of fact, you'll see here it says Invasion AL. That's for the Aleutians up there in Alaska. Well, in this optional rules game, they mixed it up a little, so you didn't get the same, redundant, units that kept on going on each route. So you got a big old variation of gameplay. Makes it a lot more. What is that called? Replayability. That's the word I'm looking for. So anyway, not much time to play games. The weather down here in my neck of the woods, or woods of the neck, has been outstanding. Unfortunately, I got to work through it all, but it makes for nice days. Well, it'd be really nice to take some days off, but this is a home stretch. Only got 2 or 3 more months to go, and we gotta get it while it gets good. The old squirrels are packing in those nuts, look like crazy. But yeah, so it's really been nice, and way too nice outside to be inside. But I like to kick back and slow it down a little bit. Definitely slow it down a little bit with some gameplay. We're gonna go ahead here and we're at the determination where we drew our chit, so it told us we're going for the Mosby route. Next will be the Imperial Japanese Navy search segment. Oh, we will see here who can see what. Unfortunately, though, there's no task forces here to search for, so I think we can skip that. So that'll be that. We will move over to the task force movement segment. And like I said, these guys here are spotted automatically. I think these guys here are spotted automatically anyway. I don't think there's any real spotting. Spotting is mostly for task forces. So we roll our dice on the Imperial Japanese Navy movement table. We get a 2 for the covering force. Oh, 1 space. Huh. Alright, well, they are there at Mosby. Now for the invasion force. Oh. 2. Same. Oh, no, different column. The 2 is 1 space. Oh, they're not going to make it. And in this variant of the game with the optional rules, to take these Imperial Japanese Navy objective spaces, they got to disembark infantry. They got to do a combat on there, so that kind of adds more realism, a little bit more spice to the game. Let's go for the guard task force. I get a 3. They are also in this column. 2 spaces, they'll make it. 1, 2, there you go. Oh, it looks like the old coastal defense has been reduced. I think that must have happened with one of our raids earlier. That will do it. Next will be a little bit of zone feature. U.S. Navy reaction segment. Okay. Kick back, make sure everything's done right. And like I said, enjoying us some time. We were watching some videos like we always do. I always like watching Players Aid, guys. I think I need to do my episode of No Enemies Here. I haven't done his weekend episode yet. He's always got great stuff. I can watch it. One good thing about my occupation, I got plenty of listening YouTube and time. I can just put that stuff on and listen to it all day. But there's so much stuff on YouTube, and I got so many channels I can never catch up on it all. But there's a new game out by Mark Harmon called by GMT called Caesar's Battles or something. I think it's a Great Battles of History. Kind of a redo, something like that. But Looks really good. And I was just thinking, I don't have any Roman games here, I don't think. No Roman games. Closest thing, I guess, would be Kingdom of Heaven, Warriors of God, but that's a little bit past it. Greek, but that's a little bit before, or depending. So, yeah, that'd be a nice game. It's a Mark Herman game. And like I said, this game here is more on the light side. I think in complexity, I'd give it a 5 or a 4. Didn't have the cash for renewing my strategy and tactics, but they were more beginner to intermediate too. So that Mark Herman game definitely be a little bit more on the complicated side. And we don't mind it. We like a good complicated game. I just ain't got time this time of year to put in more than maybe a half an hour in gaming per day. So we'll see what's up. But we'll continue on with this. We will go for the U.S. Naval Reaction segment. And I don't know if it's a naval aircraft segment or a land-based aircraft segment. So it might be another skip. We'll be right back. All right, after the Imperial Japanese Navy Task Force Movement segment, it is very important that you determine if you must pick one incident marker, and unfortunately for us, we do, because these things always throw a cog in the works. So here we go for our all-important incident marker draw. And here we are. Incident marker. What is it this time that will affect the game? It is submarine. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. How that affects. Oh, let's go see over here. I don't think they got it here, do they? Reinforcement, nope. Special operations markers. Mark, here you go. Incidents. Submarine 1. Submarine 1. Alright. If drawn during the Imperial Japanese Movement segment, which it is, an Imperial Japanese Navy Task Force may be subject, oh, that's a good one for us, to submarine attack. If drawn during the U.S. Navy operations, G3. Nope, that's not us yet. Alright. Following procedures. All find the space closest to the enemy home base on the and okay, that's right. Closest to the enemy home base. Active or spotted, so that would be the guard. Spotted. Well, they're spotted anyway. Maybe we'll flip them over just for good measure. So they came around here to old Port Mosby, and we had some submarines waiting for them. That's always good. A little bit of sub-warfare. Are spotted, and one task force in space subject to a submarine attack. If more than one task force in space, then pick one at random. Alright. So here we are. Our 2 task forces. Which one are we going to pick? Pick this one. This one here will be spotted. Oh wait, we got 3 of them there. Oh no, that's right, he's not there yet. Okay. So the one we got were the guard task force. He was spotted, and we will have some anti-submarine or submarine warfare going on. Let's see if he's got any anti-submarine stuff that happens to him. Pick one at random. Perform anti-submarine warfare for each in the task force. All right, in the guard task force, we have. Gotta zoom you on out. Guard task force. Let's look up here. Oh, where's he at? He is right here. What ships does he have with him? He does not have. He has a destroyer and a cruiser. Does not have a carrier, destroyer, and a cruiser. So let's go back to here. For each destroyer, got one. CL, I guess that's a light. CVL, I think those are some kind of a light carriers or something. With the destroyer, we do have CAs, I think, are cruisers. So, one 1d6 with a 3. Want to choose submarine. If there's 3 submarine gets through the screen and may attack the task force. Alright, we got through. That is good. Submarine attacks 1 naval unit, roll 1 die. Print on that marker. Oh, we gotta get a 1 or less to go after one of these guard units. Which one we want to go after here, folks? Oh, we want to go after that big old. Oh, we got a battleship's what it is. Wow, I was gonna say. Alright, we're going for the battleship. Look at those numbers. 2 anti-aircraft, 5 anti-naval, and 4 anti-ground unit with those big guns. So our sub has gotten through and said, look what we see here. Alright, and we just need a 1 or less to do something. So let's go look at that again. Submarine attacks 1 naval unit, roll 1d6. The result of listening to the number printed on the marker that target receives a hit. Alright. If the attack is against U.S. Navy, yeah, you can choose it. If it's them choosing going against us, they'll go after the most valuable one. Ain't a it's a no-brainer. Let's roll a die. Look for a 1. 1 on the battleship. We get it! All right. Are you kidding me? I'll take that kind of luck. Man, I got fantasy football going on today. Oh, and they got that early game in London. And, you know, I spend all morning. I think I maybe have 3-4 teams. Ain't that big of a deal. And it's all house money. I just got a nice bonus from DraftKings from reaching a certain milestone. So I'm like, hey, yeah, that'll work. I think it was $50, $50 worth. So anyway, long story short, they're playing in London. Spent all night picking my teams. Thought I had it pretty well down solid. And it's like I said earlier, if you ever watch any of my fantasy videos, I can't turn the TV on, or I can't check my score. I didn't check the score, my fantasy score, but I should check the score in the game, and I can do that. I can't watch it because I'm like Billy Bean and Moneyball. Whenever I watch my team or something, they lose. And like I said, I could never, if I ever click on the score, fantasy score, to see what my fantasy score is, it never goes from like 7 to 10 points, or 70 to 80, or 70 to 75. It'll go from 7 to 2 or 70 to 50. If I can score, always goes down when I check it. Never goes up, never gone up. I've never clicked it and seen it go, oh, wait, it's going up. So I don't do that. But anyway, I looked at the score, and I think it was Minnesota. Got off to the lead, first touchdown, and I clicked on it to see, hey, you know, who got the touchdown, all that good stuff, and sure enough, it's the only player that I didn't pick. And I had 4 teams, which will consist of maybe 5, 6 players per team, and the only guy that I did not have. So I clicked off that one. That'll take care of that morning game. No money on that one. And because you almost have to have, the guy that scores a touchdown. It's very rare if the guy that scores a touchdown, you don't have him on your team, you're going to win anything. So that just blew them 4 teams out the window. Luckily, like I said, it was house money, or it'd almost be crying time. But a lot more to go today, and some more to go tonight. So just brush those games on off. All right, what are we going on here? We've got some damage to do. We hit us a battleship with a 1. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, the attack was the submarine attacks when they hit it. Roll if the result is someone equal the number of pound markers that target receives 1 hit using the procedure of 943. 943. Okay, we'll be right back. 943. Applying hits. Naval. That was pretty easy. And you consult the appropriate U.S. Navy to hit table to determine the outcome of the hit. Ouch! Alright. Imperial Japanese deployment, air mission to hit table. Oh! Full power, full power, full power. Yep, you gotta watch it in war games, that's for sure, with all these little stacky stacks. Alright. Oh, where'd I see that? Hit table. U.S. Naval Unit Type. Oh, it's the Naval Unit Type. So we don't want this one. We want the American hit table unit type. Imperial Japanese unit type. We got a big old battleship. Alright. One will be no effect. 2 to 4 damage. We need a big 5 or 6 to sink it. Looking for a 5 or 6 to sink it. So we hit it. What is the result of the hit? 3. I think it's damaged. Battleship with a 3. 2 to 4. It is damaged. So what do we do then? The result causes the unit to be removed from battle and placed in an appropriate damage unit display for repairs. Certain Imperial Japanese naval units can be repaired too. Some of them can't. So the battleship, when you flip it over, you can see too also doesn't have a less reduced side. So it goes over here to the damage unit. That is a big plus. All right, let's go over here to the guard. We'll put him back over here at Port Mosby. So these guys came around old Port Mosby. They got hit with a Allied submarine warfare ambush. This one here will be the only one left of the guard force. I'll flip them over because they're not supposed to see what it is. But anyway, we know what's there now. All right, everybody spotted. Invasion force ain't spotted yet, but that is the incident. Yeah. Oh, what do I do with this incident marker? I guess not. This goes back in there. All right, put it back in for next time. You've seen on that, it had a 1 on the submarine. So you got to roll a 1 or less. I think there's one in there that has a 2. It's a better one. So that's the least lethal of the submarine markers. But it's all we needed. We got lucky. I'll take some of that luck. All right. That is it for the incident marker. Movement. We get our naval. Now we do our reaction. Let's go over here. Imperial Japanese Naval Organization. Alright, here's where we see launch naval bombers and fighters. Assign no carriers on that route. Not landed aircraft or naval aircraft units currently assigned no base, so these guys don't get to do that on each activated route. Up to the range of spotted or launch U.S. Navy for CAT missions. Land attack. Also, the only thing we could do with our land-based units is launch our fighters for CAT missions, because I guess we know something's going to happen. Well, let's do that then. Unfortunately, in Australia, we don't have no CAT fighters. You can see that top number there. As in parentheses, that is the fire back if fired upon number. So we can't use that. Let's see if we got any fighters here. Oh, we got a fighter. And one that's been damaged. But we can go ahead and use that then. So we'll go ahead and put him up. Let's get this like this. Infantry, coastal defense, damage unit, or squadron of units that have had units shot out from underneath it. So it's a less than full strength squadron. We got the guard, we got the spotted covering. Invasion didn't make it there. And this guy here will be on cap. And we'll move him on over to the old guy. I guess we could do that now. We've got a battle. Well, we'll put a battle marker there. Hold on a second. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right, he's on cap. All right, that'll be our reaction segment. Your Imperial Japanese Navy air launch segment. It's gonna be fun. Let's see what they're doing. All right, we're back. All right, so we gotta check out our task forces here. Look for carrier-based units first. I think we could use any land-based units too. He's got a bunch of them, so it's gonna be an all-out. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And the thing of it is, even though we don't have a task force here, they can go after this coastal defense unit after Imperial Japanese Navy Objective Space. Need an acronym for that. All right, so they'll mostly be going to bomb this, and when they do bomb that space, that 4 capability on that airfield will be reduced. So that's basically what they're doing. And once they get on there with their invasion force, they can disembark, but that won't be this turn. All right, so first we'll be looking underneath. Well, let's go over here. Keep on forgetting those units there. The covering force. Covering force, covering force, covering force. We're looking for a carrier. This covering force. 2 units. Now we do have a carrier, and we have another battleship. So let's go over here. Find out which carrier we look under. It is Ryujo. Alright, covering force. Ryujo. Where is that at? Here he is. And here's his planes. Alright, so these guys will be, we'll put them right here. We'll have to figure out their assignment here in a second. Alright, so that is the covering force. Yep. 1 carrier, the covering force. Next is the guard force. Oh, guard. Guard, we just shot his, yeah. Took his carrier out. Only thing left is a cruiser. Or not, took his battleship out. Only thing left is a cruiser, so no carriers there to worry about. Next will be the Invasion AL. Invasion AL, we got 4 ships in that task force. Any carriers? Consists of a cruiser and transports. It makes sense of it being an invasion force. So no carriers there. Light on the carriers. Light on the carriers. We'll put these guys all back. Put them back in the Invasion AL. Get this big old force. Midway, wow. Look at that stack. Alright. So we gotta find out missions for the units from the squadrons from the Ryujo. Squadrons from Rabaul on the Port Mosby route. I was flipping this guy over. This is the Solomon's route. Alrighty. Take a little break here. We got back. Alright. Here are all the air units we have. We have 3 units from that Rabaul. You can see though, the original capacity was 5 before it was bombed. Now it only has 3. So there's just 3 land-based bombers. Be back to assign the missions. Alright, so the Imperial Japanese Navy making a big push for Australia. We have got us a battle right here. But till then, let's go ahead and assign these ships from the carrier Ryujo. Or Ryujo, I don't know. We'll roll 1 die. He gets a 2. Mission determination segment. That is a fighter. Naval fighter. Naval fighter with a 2. He has a cap mission. So Ryujo gets a cap over his fighters, which will be without any cause because we don't have any. No, wait, we do. That's right. Well, not to attack there. Well, the carrier. Maybe we are. Okay. He'll go over here. To cap. Next one is going to be a naval bomber aircraft. Naval bomber aircraft with a 6. Oh. Naval bomber aircraft. A 6. Attack the objective. So he'll be going after the attack objective. Alright, anything that gets the attack at task force will automatically go to attack objective because there is no task force within that route. Unfortunately, bad admiralship by me. All right, next will be a fighter, land aircraft. Land aircraft with a 6. Land aircraft fighter with a 6 is an intruder. That's a goofy mission. I'm going to check that out, but that's very interesting. I'm glad we got that. Intruders. This guy here will be an intruder. Oh, we'll find out what that does. Next, land attack craft. Bomber. Or land aircraft, I think what they call it in this game. Land aircraft bomber with a 1, no launch, no parts, no go. He is from Raboul, so we'll put him back there. Alright, that's what happens. That's what happens when you're short on supply. Ask the old Russian Federation nowadays. Is that a joke or what? Oh my God. Old Putin. Did he leave his flag just totally exposed? Oh my God. I mean, I think all we got to do is secure those nuke sites. And you know how you secure a nuke site? You go up to the entrance with some blaring Grateful Dead music or some Zeppelin, something everybody jams to, a big old fat doobie, and you say, open up. And I guarantee you those guys are going to open up, want to party down, some good herb, some vodka, whatever. You know, they don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be there. Just parachute in some. Just take care of those nuke sites and that's it. The rest of the goofy house of cards will come falling down. Oh my God. And that's the way it is, I think, with China too. Anything that's totalitarian, those people don't want to be there. Those systems don't work. It's all a house of cards. And unfortunately, our country's going the same way. But let's go back to this game. Here we go. Bomber. Land attack craft. Oh, 1. Oh, are you kidding me? No, I think it's a no launch no matter what. Oh, fighters. Yeah, no launch on a naval aircraft either. So land aircraft with a 1. Bomber. No launch. Do we get lucky on that or what? Gotta love it when your stuff don't work. Alright, he's back at Raboul. Not ready to go. Alright, that takes care of his launch segment. We will look and see. Let me see here. He's going back over here to covering. He'll go over here to cap. Cap. Over it. I think that's going to be it. Just naval reaction. We couldn't launch anybody yet because we could only launch a naval aircraft. It was a land aircraft prohibited. So now we're going over here to the mutual combat segment. That's where we put the battle marker over Port Mosby. It's mostly going to be a, well, let's hold on a second. We'll have one more unit we need to move out of there. He can't launch. None of these guys can launch. We've got a guard task force that's spotted. Covering task force. Got all kinds of ships out there at sea. Port Mosby's looking at that going, uh-oh, invasion. What was that movie? Longest Day. That guy looks out on the English Channel, sees nothing, comes back, bullshits with his buddy, looks out again, and there's freaking ships everywhere. And his famous line was, invasion. Alright, let's see here. So the coastal defense unit. And we'll put him over here too. He's getting hammered. He's got an anti-aircraft. They could shoot at him with some small arms. Small arms far. Or who knows? Maybe they got a anti-aircraft gun in there amongst them. Australian units, infantry. Not much of a coastal defense unit at all. Sarah Post, Port Mosby, but we do have a battle to ensue. There it is. We will be back. All right, ready to ensue this battle. We want to talk more about the old Russians in Ukraine and this freaking mobilization. I don't know if any of you've seen on YouTube where I've seen one. I couldn't believe. The first one you seen was the gal that was from Chechnya, from Syria, telling all the boys that you got to provide your own medical kits. have your wives and your moms send you their, feminine tampons or whatever because you stick them in the hole and actually, I say it works good because they're hygienic, but my God, they don't have no. I would have listened to that lady talk. I would have turned around and found me the first neck of woods and got the heck out of there. Ran to your crate. But then the other one I seen in the video was all the beds that they had out in the woods, and I guess it's cold there already because there's snow around, and they just dropped these guys off and they had these beds out in the woods. I mean, there were thousands of them just in between the trees. It was the weirdest thing in the world, all out in the open. I mean, they didn't sleep out in the cold. I think these guys at least had beds dropped off for them and had some blankets and pillows, but it was the goofiest thing you ever seen. And then the other one was where the guy said he was a colonel or something, a reserve colonel, and they dropped him off in the middle of a field. And he said they dropped us off just like sheep. Quoted, his quote was sheep. They didn't give them no food, no nothing, no tents, and they had to sleep out. These guys didn't have no beds. They were just dropped off in the field. But I'm telling you, what Putin's doing is just getting these 300,000 people. And just all you need to do is watch the first opening scene of Enemy at the Gates, and it's all these Russians. Their military tactics have not evolved into more than human wave attacks. And Putin ain't no dummy. But then again, the people he rules are less stupid than he is because they realize that he's taking all these people he's taking these human waves attacks from all of his opposition districts, all his opposition, territories, the ones that give him the most trouble. And their whole villages are getting drafted. Nobody from Moscow, everybody, all Putin supporters are not going nowhere. It's all these fringe, ethnic minorities that he's drafting everybody from towns. Even this mayor said, "Man, he's drafting all these people from my town. They're onto it." I mean, it's just a matter of time. But and that's all it is. Watch Enemy of the Gates, and all this is human wave attacks. Half these guys ain't even gonna have guns at work, and they're just gonna move them into Kherson and all that other stuff, and they're just gonna human wave them. And anybody that chickens out or runs back is going to be shot by the Russians themselves. It's so barbaric and stupid. Oh my God, how they ever won World War II? I guess that's how they did it. It was just human wave attacks. So like I said, you got billions of people or millions. You got a big population. Only weapon you got is cannon fodder. All right, we're going up here to this battle here at Midway. And we're going to see what's going on here. Mutual combat segment. We go to 9.0. All air units, air combat factors, or enemy air units, cap fighters may fire at attacking. All right, well, he's a cap here, but he's a cap over the. I guess it's got to be. Ryuju. Where's the Ryuju from? He's from the covering force. Covering force is here, so he's capping. Yeah, he's there. All right, we'll give him a shot. Enemy air units, cap fighters may fire attacking fighters and bombers. So the only one he's got to fire at is our cap fighter. All right. Huh. So these guys are both flying over Mosby, looking for enemy fighters, and they found one. He has no bombers to fight against or to shoot against, so he's going to go ahead and shoot with a 3 or less at our Port Mosby cap fighter. No good, no good. All right, now our cap fighter, that's over Port Mosby, can fire at him or these guys. All right, now looking at this, all we're doing here, he's only shooting at our coastal defense unit with this guy. So we're going to go after our cap fighters. Going to skip on it. He just got dodged a bunch of bullets. He sees these guys coming in and he's putting the accelerator on. He's going for them. Oh, what's going on? What's that intruder? Hold on a second. We got to check this out real quick. Be right back. All right, intruder. Finder units assigned to intruder missions may, if there is a U.S. Navy controlled Imperial Japanese Navy objective space within range of the fighter, which there is, because he's right there. You see, my intruder is from the Raiju, and the Raiju is right there at Port Mosby, so that's good. He's within range. He has a 3 hex range anyway, so we're good. the fighter, and there are U.S. Navy fighters flying caps assigned to the base, which we do have. The fighter may fly to the space and conduct an air-to-air combat mission during the ensuing reach of combat phase against U.S. Navy fighters. This does not require bombers to be assigned to the attack mission in space. All right. Here we are. All right, well, unfortunately for us, he gets to fire them too. Ouch. All right, well, he wants to see if Japs are taking care of it. This guy here is from the Raoul base. So, the old Raoul-based A6M. Whoa. Old base A6M. Zeke coming on in. And he's got to roll a 4. Oh, he's lethal. He's lethal. Is that a 0? Yeah, okay. 4. Oh, man. Pause for a cough break. All right. So he gets a hit. Not good. Not good. All right, now he gets to take a shot at reduced strength. We're still going through. First range of fighters came on through, and our first squadron fighters came on through. Didn't do nothing to us. This one here came on through and shot down a couple planes out of squadron, but the ones that survived are going to go for the failed dive bomber. Here we go. We're looking for a 1 or less. Do we get lucky again? No. No way. All right. So now what do we do? Let's look at the procedure. We having fun yet or not? Man, it's a nice day outside. Keep an eye on the old cameras for the lovely girly friend bringing in the groceries, so my fun comes to an end. Let me see if I can get you on over there. See if I got my zoom feature. Yeah, I got all kinds of camera views you can't see because it's mixed up, but we got more views over there. Hey, we got that given to us for like a present. It's sat around for at least a year. Our girlfriend's, why don't you put that thing together? So we did it. It's not that bad. The only thing you have to do is buy a hard drive if you want to. And it's like a gigabyte. It's a big hard drive. Get that on Amazon. And they got one that's made specifically for security cameras. You put that hard drive in there, program it, sucker right on up, and like I said, yeah, I'm not a computer programmer, but they make it pretty easy. A couple of those little, what do you call it, QR codes or something. And you're there. And it's on. It works good. Keeps an eye on it. Now, mine I have is wireless. And there's a bit of a delay, a little bit of a delay. And sometimes you maybe get a little bit of a, when something's moving, it'd be a, that. But that if you want to make it wired, which you could, but you have to run a wire all the way to your little central unit there. Thumbs up on the big security camera. We got 5. Need 6. Need 1 more. Place is totally covered. All right, what we got going on here? All right, we're going for we hit a 6, so that missed him. Now we'll go down here to bombers. Attacking intruder. Bombers merely fire at fighters that fired at them. Oh, all right. So this failed dive bomber just got shot at. And what this really is this fighter coming around behind him. But he's got a back gun. I think he's got a gun in the rear there coming on up. So he needs a 2 or less. Put the coup de grace on that squadron. 2 or less. Sad. Those bullets are flying wide. Way wide. Alright, anti-air step, fire all ground units, naval units, and combat fighter aerial. So these guys get to shoot. We'll shoot for that bomber first of all. Coastal Defense Unit at Port Mosby. And all it is mostly is just a bunch of, well, maybe 1 or 2 anti-aircraft units, which really aren't all that good, but we'll see how good they are. How good are their operators? 2 or less. 3. Ooh, just missed. And we got some Australians. Gonna pepper them after a little run with a 1 or less. 3. Oh, good. All right. So now, after all that, anti-air step. Fire all naval units, no. Fire all air units, eligible ground units. So now the veil comes on down. He was swinging on down there, avoided the fire from the anti-aircraft guns and the infantry surrounding the base. He gets close, down to his minimum altitude, releases his bombs. His bombs for ground are 1. Not that good. Oh, we don't get it. 3s are wild. Alright, well, that'll be it. We are done. Mutual combat step is over. We'll go to the mutual return segment. And we survived on Fort Mosby, so far at least. We'll have to check out what goes on with the... Oh, you know what? Oh, that had to do with... there's certain optional rules that deal with anti-aircraft fire, but that's from naval units, so I gotta remember to do that. So far, everything has been done by the book. We're ready to go. Mutual return segment. We'll call this a video. Won't bore you with the little details, so I might do that off camera. And next will be U.S. or Imperial Japanese Navy morale segment. Now, they did have a battleship that has been damaged. That could be something. Usually, it's, if they're sunk, that could demoralize a task force and they start going back home. But I don't think we've reached that point yet. But we'll see. Calling it a bid. We'll be back. Enjoy the fall days, people. Be back.